Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 27th of December, 2012. Here's all the news it's worth talking about in Panama today. Starting off with La Prensa. They've got another 2 or 3 articles about the Financial Pacific scandal or growing scandal. The thing basically revolves around an account named High Spirit that was supposedly controlled directly by Ricardo Martinelli through intermediaries or lawyers or what have you. Um, and the fundamental point of the accusations that are in these articles that are being made by the former employee of Financial Pacific, and her name is Pellegrini. She says that Ricardo Martinelli had insider information regarding the value of the shares of Petekia stock, and that he used that information to manipulate the value of the stock and to gain money. They wanted to open a bank called FP Bank or something like that. They were going to create their own bank based around Financial Pacific, and that anyway, that's the deal. Now, this thing started when the La Prensa newspaper got their hands on the sworn statements that were being made by Pellegrini before the prosecutors, and they're now publishing the details of those statements, and then now this information is going to spread out, and it's already being picked up by other news media, not just La Prensa, and then before too long it's going to spread out of Panama. So these articles today, I'm going to translate probably 2 or 3 of these, and I'm going to put them out there on the outside of the paywall, primarily because I know that this story is going to get picked up in Canada. So off you go. There's going to be more on this before there's less. Okay. In the Panama America, there's a story here. A sailboat called the Da Capo sank 16 miles outside of Cartagena. It was one of these sailboats that was being used to ferry tourists or backpackers back and forth between Panama and the San Blas and Cartagena. It says here that there was 3 people on board: an American, a German, and a Spanish woman. I know that the owner of the boat is a guy named Mats Fagerstrom from Stockholm, Sweden. He has a Panamanian wife named Dina, and it's not clear to me at this point if the owner of the boat was on board. They might have called him the German guy. Who knows? Maybe they got it mixed up. Maybe he has dual nationality. Who knows? But anyway, they were picked up by the Colombian Navy and taken back to Cartagena, and they're fine. They're rescued, but the boat sank. It just goes to show you that these sailboats that are being used, they're basically just, recreational sailboats, and they're not meeting with any kind of inspection or standards. Or there's one guy, I'll be talking about him later, who's trying to improve that, but the rest of these guys, you're basically taking your life into your own hands if you hop on one of these boats to go between San Blas and Cartagena. It's simply not safe. They sink with regularity. Okay, the former Attorney General, Ana Matilde Gomez, remember she was pried out of her position with a crowbar by Martinelli when he took over? Well, she now has announced that she's going to be running for political office. She wants to be a deputy in the National Assembly in the next election. She'll be running for the 8-7 circuit, which is, I believe, in Panama City. Yeah, it has to be. It's in the province of Panama. It starts with an 8. So anyway, she's going to now be running for elected office, and because of her name recognition, she'll probably win. Okay, popping over to the Critica. Here's one. This poor kid 16-year-old kid, was killed because he had a tablet, I don't know what brand or whatever, but he had a tablet computer in his hands, and he was buying a card at a Chino to recharge the thing. It wasn't even his. It was somebody else's tablet, and some other people shot him and killed him to steal it from him. So, you got in some of these neighborhoods, I tell you what, it doesn't take much to get killed, and they'll shoot you and kill you just to steal a cell phone or a tablet computer or what have you. So, all right, here the Panamanian government has received they've authorized. This is in Telemetro. The cabinet authorized Panama, the government of Panama, to enter into a deal with the Andean Development Fund for a loan for $100 million, and this is money which is going to be spent on the construction of the metro subway system. According to what they have in this article, that this was already planned, and it's not something new. It's just was part of their original funding on how they're going to build the metro. So off we go. Okay, in TVN Channel 2, Anna Belfon has gone to the office of the Attorney General. She's going to be taking over as the new Attorney General. So she has been ratified. Her appointment, she was appointed by the president, and her appointment has been ratified by the National Assembly. That happened over Christmas while you were opening presents. Her and Jose Ayud Prado, he's been ratified to the Supreme Court. Martinelli now has five justices on the Supreme Court, so he has an absolute majority out of 9. And he's also appointed the new Attorney General. She's going to be in position through the end of December 2014. So there you go. Just the fact that she showed up to the office for the first time made headlines. Okay, in El Siglo, here's one. A guy was driving a truck, a container truck, and supposedly the container was ripped off, and they found him tied up and thrown in the grass, and he said that he had been held at gunpoint and that they'd stolen the container from him. The container had $73,000 worth of merchandise, primarily clothes. Well, they found out that they found the merchandise, and it was being sold in Chitre, and it looks like one of the guys that was arrested was the truck driver. That they basically did a steal it from yourself kind of a thing. So anyway, $73,000 worth of clothes that had been imported was stolen in a container, and it was recovered, and the people that were involved have been busted. This one caught my eye because there's a guy that got busted with half a kilo of marijuana and $400 in cash, and in Chorrera, an adult. And this one caught my attention because it struck me that it's I don't know what, ironic, I guess is the word, that you can be busted for half a kilo of marijuana in Panama, but if you were in Colorado or California or whatever, then you'd be good to go. So just kind of a disconnect there. All right, here's one in the Dia Dia talking about the bus driver strike. Those guys are now getting paid $580 a month, and they're supposed to get a performance bonus of $100 a month if they don't miss any days of work and they show up. And they're complaining that they can't get their bonus because if they miss a day, for being sick or whatever, then they don't get their bonus. And they also say that they supposedly had an agreement to increase their pay to $800 a month, and that's what they're asking for. They're asking for their pay to be increased from $580 to $800. They're like, forget that bonus. We don't want the bonus thing. They don't like it because they're not getting it. They would rather just have their pay increase from $580 a month to $800. But apparently that one day little bus strike is done and over. Okay, so there you go. 8 minutes, all the news it's worth talking about here in Panama today, Thursday, 27 December 2012. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. Have a great day.